Hello everyone, Screenfire Gaming here, and we're back with a Kerbal Space Program video. Finally, after what is it, a year? Over a year of just not uploading at all. Yeah, so this is a rover to Val, if you didn't see that from the title card, the thumbnail, and the title of the video. I really shouldn't be repeating this. But anyway, the main reason why I didn't upload a video for so long is because I was really swamped with work, which was schoolwork and as well as a bunch of other personal stuff. So in the end, I called off recording for a while. But now that we're kind of trapped here and we can't really do that much, so why not kick a candidate recording again? So here we are again with a Val rover, and this was by far one of the hardest missions I've ever done. Mostly because of the way Joule works and how the moons around Joule work. It gets really frustrating at times, but it did work out in the end. I did manage to land it, as you probably saw with the thumbnail. But spoilers, I guess. But anyway, here we are targeting Joule, and we are beginning our burn into our transfer burn. But we were plotting a transfer burn. So this rocket had technically 4 stages, I think. It had the 4 kickback SRBs, what was the once biggest SRBs before they added the expansion packs. Not the new SRB. Sorry, not. I don't know if they're part of the expansion pack or not. Then the skipper engine, and then the cheetah engine, which I'll be firing up in right about now. There we go. So yeah, after the cheetah engine, then there's a nuclear stage, after which there's the sky crane, which finally lowers the rover onto Val. So this is our escape burn. It takes quite a while. It isn't the longest burn I've done, especially after, as you can see, there's a on a Kerbal alarm clock, there's a maneuver node for a Sol 1. That was just something I was doing in my spare time. Specifically, that was a Moho mission, which burnt 8,000 meters per second of delta V, which is kind of ridiculous for the capture at Moho. So odds are I'm not going to be using any ion engines anytime soon. But yeah, you can see I detached my cheetah just there, and we've started burning our nuclear stage just as we're coming over to the light side of the planet. And we essentially have our Joule encounter set, and that's it. And then we cut to this place. The reason being that there was another probe, because I needed to finish off the Sol 1 Sol 1 what's call it again? The Sol 1 correction maneuver. Correction burn? I don't remember what it's called. I'll probably learn it and remember time and then just blurt it out in the middle of the video. But here we are. This is the first time ever. I have done some Joule missions in my spare time before, but I've never actually done a Tylo assist. It's generally a powered burn to capture a Joule, which I'm surprised I managed to get, honestly. But yeah, this is the first time I'm ever going to be using a Tylo assist. But then I had a bunch of decisions going through, because I was like, wait a second, let's get a Lathe encounter instead, because I thought, okay, wait, Tylo encounter isn't working, let's try a Lathe encounter instead. Actually, I was trying to get a Tylo encounter on the other side. I should have gone for this Lathe encounter. I should have. It would have saved a lot of headaches later on. But I decided not to, and I'm like, yeah, I might as well go for the Tylo encounter. First, I stuck with the same Tylo encounter, which didn't really do that much. It really just shot me back into back into interplanetary space with approximately the same amount of velocity. Then I realized, oh wait, I'm going backwards around Joule's orbit, and then I got a better encounter. So there we are. And then we cut here, which is just really me just warping to my correction burn. I did, and you can see there's another Julian one that's going to serve as the relay probe, because as you can see, we don't actually have a connection right now. The main reason for that is because I only put one of those Communitron 66, the ones that you don't have to extend to get a connection with. But I really should have at least put on two of those, or better yet, one of them, one of the high gain antenna, because I really wouldn't have suffered so much through the Julian system if I used one of those. Especially since if I'd used the high gain antenna, I would have gotten a connection at Joule no matter what. At least during the correction burn, what I did is I used the manual throttle adjustment, so that I made sure that I had some kind of control over it, although it was a lot worse than usual since I'm used to the Z and X keys. But yeah, right now we're just warping slowly towards our Joule encounter. It took really long, so I'm like just waiting here for everything to do, and I was like just checking out other stuff. And he was like, wait, caution, flammable liquid. And then I decided to look at the reaction wheel, which has Steadler Corp, which is a play on words. It's supposed to be Steadier Corp. But it's Steadler Corp. It's kind of... Well, I thought it was funny at the time. Then again, I was half delirious from playing Kerbal Space Program for so long after burning for 40 minutes. But yeah. Yeah, we're just still waiting for her burn our SY change, and there we are. We finally reached. You can see me frantically pointing out Joule there. It's like, there it is, there it is, there it is. I'm like, and now in post processing me, I'm like, yeah, you don't need to say that much, you know. But yeah, I thought I'd got a pretty decent encounter. I really should have gone for the late encounter, because although it was off the plane, it would have really helped out overall, because plane change maneuver, I had plenty of Delta V. Yeah, here's the relay probe that I was sending, and there's a small detachable atmospheric probe for Lathe. It never, let's just say it ran into any complications. But yeah, here's the Tylo assist that my first ever one. Here's a really good view first of Lathe and Tylo and Joule, obviously. I thought it was a cool view anyway. And then here's our Tylo encounter, which we just breezed through. And that got us into a capture around Joule, although our periapsis is way too far out. Here's the Julian 1 Tylo assist, which was honestly a way better. It was closer to the right plane, as well as also being a lot more lot closer with a lot smaller of an apoapsis. Even if it did put us on a trajectory to crash into Joule, we had plenty of time and a lot of Delta V to correct it anyway. So yeah, this overall this thing came a lot better than I did. But then again, it was supposed to relay, and I was like, why aren't we getting a connection? Well, actually, no, I wasn't waiting here. It was like a little bit later, once I finished off this burn. Actually, it was a bunch of assists I had to do with Julian 1, but overall, I ended up not going to Lathe, because it was really painful trying to get to Lathe and getting enough. I really should have just aero braked. It would have helped. It would have solved everything. In retrospect, aero braked on Lathe, I mean, not Joule. But aero braking on Lathe would have solved all the problems that I had in retrospect. But hey, you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20 or something like that. But yeah, so I got a Lathe encounter, and then this is the what do you call this thing again? The Val rover, right? So here I'm just raising my periapsis a little bit, just so that I can get an encounter with Tylo to reduce, or Lathe. Or actually here I was trying to get an encounter with Val, then I decided, wait, no, I should get an encounter with Tylo. But then I realized, wait a second, I can just chill for a while, because honestly, the Tylo encounter is going to take a while. Anyway, here's the probe. So essentially what happened with that probe is that I attached the heat shield directly to the fairing attachment. So it doesn't have a heat shield, so I decided, oh well, let's just send it to Joule, because why not, fireworks, right? And I thought maybe the aero shell would provide the best sort of well, quote-unquote heat shield. It did actually hold up to the heat for quite a while, all things considered. It pushed quite a ways deep, considering that, and you can see me frantically rotating, like, don't overheat, don't overheat, don't overheat. But then it just wobbles and then starts exploding. Once it's wobbled, everything blew up. And we made it about 179,000 kilometers into the atmosphere, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. I should really put a heat shield on a atmospheric probe next time. Well, there is always going to be a next time anyway. So, here we're back to... This is after a lot of shenanigans with Julian 1. Essentially what happened is I kept trying to get a Lathe. Lathe always had way too high a relative speed. So in the end I gave up on it and just put it around in orbit close to Val's SOI. And I don't think it's going to be it's going to stay very long there. Here I just used a Lathe assist to get my relative velocity to Val a lot lower. Also, I think that probe is fairly stable, all things considered, actually. And here's like I finally have a connection. I celebrate a little bit, actually. Yeah, here's a really good view of all three moons, all three major moons, anyway. And then here's just waiting for the burn. It's like, yes, I have a connection. I have a connection. And I was super happy because finally I had a connection to the Kerbal Space Center after so long. So the relay actually did work. I did have some range on the thing, which is good because otherwise I'd have a lot of problems. Because the rover itself only had one of them, Communitron 66, which cannot reach Kerbin on its own, as I've already said. So here what I'm trying to do is I thought I was getting a Val encounter, which I might or might not have, but I definitely decided I gave up on it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, so let's try. So I started changing our inclination, right, so that we can get a good alignment with Val's orbit. I was like, yeah, that's good enough. So that way, this way I have the perfect inclination so that I can get. I'll have again lower relative velocity so that I don't have to spend as much time burning. So I was like, wait a second, what's wrong with that maneuver? Turns out I had a Tylo encounter in the way. So that's why it was weirdly shaped. Anyway, I started burning here. This is one of the more expensive burns. I spent most of my Delta V on like the last 3 burns before the descent. It was like, well, yeah, I got a connection back because the relay was being interrupted by Joule. And I'm like, yes, finally, Val encounter. We can land. We can land this thing. You can see the mission time. It's T plus 4 years and 39 days. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, this is the longest mission in terms of game time as well. And there you can see a really good shot again of Joule and the sun. Although I don't know if that's the sun or Kerbal. Probably let's call it Kerbal. And then I'm like, yeah, let's circularize at Val. And then this is really the simplest part of the mission because circularizing at Val didn't take a lot of Delta V at all. 700. I mean, it is the biggest burn since the Kerbin escape burn, but it isn't too bad, especially considering that our relative velocity isn't nearly as high. There's another really good shot of Joule slowly setting over Val. I mean, now it's ruined. I don't know, it really depends on which perspective you prefer. I didn't actually have a connection here, so I'm like, yeah, let's throttle down. I'm like, yeah, no, you can't throttle down. So I decided to just go with this orbit. And then I cut for a little bit because I had to go eat dinner. And then, yeah, this is us back, I think. Was it? Yeah, this is us back. So I decided to put a deorbit burn there because that way I'd have a connection to the relay satellite. And then I was like, wait a second, I don't have a connection. Oh no, but then I got like a connection 2 seconds after. But then I didn't notice, so I moved the maneuver burn a little bit. The maneuver node. But I really didn't need to. I was like, wait a second, I have a connection. I'm stupid. Might as well just burn retrograde. So I did. And as you can see here, the Sky Crane theoretically had enough Delta V to deorbit, but it would have been very close because I essentially have to put all my faith in a suicide burn, which I really didn't want to do. So I'm like, yeah, let's decouple that. I'm like, wait a second, why is it stuck? Turns out the thing was stuck in the batteries. Then I decided to land in the valley there. You can see the small valley in between. So I was like, yeah, let's land here. The main reason for all of this actually is because I saw a video, Matt Lowndes' video actually, about him seeing volcanoes on Val. Just like, oh my god, I want to see the volcanoes. Turns out I didn't even go see a volcano at the end of this video. I mean, I saw a couple of their plumes, but I didn't see one up close. Anyway, Here we're detaching the sky crane after we landed, and that's gone now. So yeah, there's a rover. It has a bunch of science equipment, although it's a sandbox save. I didn't really need it. Like, wait, yeah, you saw a plume there. If you guys, the eagle-eyed among, yeah, no, some of you might have seen plume over there. You can see a bunch of plumes. I'm like, yeah, let's go that way. Let's turn around. Turns out I settled for an ice chunk. I think. Yeah, I settled for an ice chunk in the video, just so that I can like, oh look, fancy collidable terrain scatter. There's another good shot, and then. But yeah, that's really it. There's not that much to this video other than like the major difficulties I had while orbiting and stuff. You can see a plume over there of the volcano. But yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's it about this video. I hope you enjoyed this Kerbal Space Program video. I mean, it's been a while, right? So if you have any suggestions for what anything I should do in Kerbal Space Program or any game that I should play, I'll try and get it. Leave your suggestions in the comments. I mean, yeah, where else would you put your suggestions? Anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, please click on the like button below. And please subscribe, it really helps. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And anytime now. Anytime now.